We have Felicia K Damian, Theresa Yurame, Elisa Wartukian. They could each speak for 2 minutes, or they could join you and form a strong, united force there with you.
They've all come of their own accord, so I don't know who's prepared to speak and who is just here because they are interested in this agenda topic.
Yes.
But good evening, Dr. Pomeroy.
Proceed.
Dr. McDonald, members of the board. It is my honor tonight to present this resolution for your consideration, a resolution drafted by your team. 4 weeks from tonight, the world will recognize the 101st anniversary of the Armenian Genocide. Just 1 week ago, Secretary of State John Kerry declared ISIS is responsible for genocide against groups in areas under its control in Syria and Iraq, including Yazidis, Christians, and Shiite Muslims. Without our intervention, he said, it is clear that those people would have been slaughtered. This was the first time that the United States has declared a genocide since Darfur in 2004. The reason I share this example is because this is happening in real time for students in our schools today. While some may say that the Armenian Genocide is a matter of history and no longer relevant for students and educators today, they are wrong. Sadly, this topic and the historical precedent of the 20th century's first genocide continues to be relevant for our youth. The students in our classrooms today will be leading us to a brighter tomorrow. It is critical that they learn about this chapter in history and the important society themes that run through the continuum of genocides of modern history. I stood before you a year ago to present the resolution recognizing the centennial anniversary of the Armenian Genocide. I spoke then as a proud PUSD staff member, much as I do tonight, and as the youngest grandchild of a genocide survivor. That night, I had with me my 3-week-old daughter, who was the youngest great-grandchild of that genocide survivor. Tonight, with me are PUSD stakeholders, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren of survivors, and they join me in expressing gratitude for your courage and your leadership. Your courage and your leadership to honor the memory of our ancestors, to recommit our district to engaging teachers in robust discussions about best practices around teaching the subject of genocide and the most effective ways of communicating the important society themes that run through the continuum of modern-day genocide. And lastly, to renew Pasadena Unified School District's commitment to ensure that genocide studies remain an important part of the high school curriculum, because it is the students who are benefiting from instruction based on that curriculum that will be sitting in your seats in the decades to come and making the important decisions that happen in Congress, at NATO, in United Nations, and across the world. I thank you.
Thank you very much. And you are presenting the resolution to us? Mm-hmm. Now, I do have speaker cards on this issue. Vahe Maharian, Emma Oshagan. I believe that these are all for this topic. So if you have presented a card, then please have your 2 minutes.
Thank you.
And you are?
Vahe Majarian.
Very good.
Greetings, President Pomeroy and esteemed members of the Pasadena Unified School Board of Education. My name is Vahe Majarian, and I serve as the chairman of the Pasadena chapter of the Armenian National Committee of America. And we appear before you today, first and foremost, to thank you for continued services and dedication to the education and well-being of our city's youth and their families. We also thank you for the long-standing and meaningful relationship that you have fostered with the Armenian American community and the ANCA Pasadena itself. Though sadly, This horrible chapter in our culture's history is left unsolved, and justice has yet been denied, as the perpetrator of these heinous atrocities have yet to recognize their crimes. We also understand that there is a genuine goodness in humanity, and this is exemplified with the solidarity and support enjoyed between this school board and its constituents and community, and the courage you previously exhibited in recognizing the Armenian Genocide, even when its perpetrators have not. Again, we want to thank you for your continued effort in acknowledging our history and ensuring that all of our students know and learn about the Armenian Genocide, the first genocide of the 20th century. It is important for us to learn about our past to ensure that we do not repeat it in the future. We want to thank the board for their continued effort in educating about human rights education and encourage the approval and passage of this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, if you have presented a card, you're welcome to speak. I don't know which card belongs to which individual, and you are.
I'm Emma Oshagan. I have my card.
Emma?
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
I'm Emma Oshagan, PhD, a licensed psychologist, and I'm a member of the board of the Armenian National Committee of America, the Pasadena chapter. I'm also member of the Armenian Relief Society, the Pasadena chapter. On behalf of the Armenian Relief Society, Pasadena chapter, I would like to encourage the board to pass this resolution, the K1 resolution about the Armenian Genocide. Our organization, the Armenian Relief Society, sponsors one of the activities of the Learns After School program at Daniel Webster School, offering classes in Armenian language and culture to all students of the PUSD. We often have non-Armenian students and parents asking and even participating in our events. Our students feel proudest when they share a part of themselves with their classmates. Having April set as Recognition Month would further highlight, with respect, the diversity of the Pasadena Unified School District. And we really thank you very much for your attention and your willingness to consider the resolution and give us a chance to talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good to know about the involvement of our students as well. And could I have your name, please?
My name is Felicia K Damian.
Excellent.
Thank you, Chairperson Pomeroy, School Board, and Superintendent McDonald for allowing us the opportunity to speak here today. It is an honor to speak here today as we're approaching the 101 anniversary of the Armenian Genocide. I'm here as the ANCA Education Committee and as well as the chair of the Human Relations Commission. As part of the Human Relations Commission, one of our tasks is to have human rights education within PUSD. And we have been collaborating with various ethnic groups, including the ANC, as well as the Youth Council, so that way we can have human rights education given to our students, and also involving the students' voice in that effort. It's important to learn about human rights because history tends to be forgotten, including even American history. And a little excerpt that I like to share with you is the America We Thank You campaign, which is part of the ANCA's contribution. In 1915, which is the year of the Armenian Genocide, the Near East Relief was created, which is the first congressionally sanctioned non-governmental organization that was actually sent out to help save the Armenian people. This was the first organization that actually served as a model for the U.S. Peace Corps as well as U.S. aid. Through the Near East Relief, they were able to actually save the Armenian people from annihilation. They saved over 132,000 Armenians, orphans, as well as 1 million Armenian refugees. They raised over $117 million in 1915, which is about the equivalent of about $2.8 billion today. This is a part of history that should not be forgotten, and it's not just an Armenian issue or even a world issue, but also an American issue. In the words of George Santanian, those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. I want to thank you again for your commitment in upholding teaching about human rights and human education. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We are learning history today, which is very good. And you are?
I'm Theresa Yurame, and I'm the Government Affairs Director of the ANCA Western Region. I want to thank you for this opportunity, Madam President, Supervisor McDonald. I want to thank you, first and foremost, to the superintendent and to the board members who have taken the initiative to actually learn about the Armenian Genocide, not just from the foreign history perspective or the European history perspective, but definitely from the American perspective. And as the other speakers have noted, my colleagues have noted, the Near East relief, this phenomenal, monumentous moment in American history, the longest humanitarian campaign in the United States, 15 years long, 3 consecutive presidents, first ladies who adopted Armenian orphans through their own programs, a phenomenal moment to teach our children about tolerance, about unity, and a lesson to teach our own government today on how to respond to the same issues we're having in the Middle East of genocide, of persecution, and rather than responding with bombs, responding with humanitarian efforts. Again, thank you for coming to our events, for participating, for taking an active role in picking up materials and resources to give to your teachers, and for making an effort to train the teachers here at PUSD. We truly hope once all the contracting work is done and everything is done and proper, that you do have an opportunity to bring, whether it's Genocide Education Project or any other resource, to bring in and help train the teachers to teach on the Armenian Genocide from the world history perspective and from the U.S. history perspective, and truly bring to light this phenomenal experience to the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have one more card, I believe.
That card belongs to a student at Marshall School. She is the vice president of the Armenian Club there, and I don't believe she was able to stay tonight to speak. So I think we concede that card. But at this time, Dr. Pomeroy, I think it's time just to ask you and the Board of Education, in collaboration with the City of Pasadena Human Relations Commission, to consider passing this resolution. Call for a vote, right?
Yes, so I will entertain a motion.
Before I move, I want to thank you as a board member, and I want to thank you as a fellow Armenian. Thank you for all your work, and I move to accept this.
Very good. And the second, Dr. Mullen, a second. And all in favor, please indicate the support for this resolution. It's a unanimous vote. That would be 6-0. Thank you so much. You have brought... You have brought a distinguished delegation to us tonight. Really, I think we are honored as we hear what your background is and what the organizations that you represent. So I do feel like the ambassador has brought her delegation, and we appreciate that. Mr. Torres?
I wanted to take this time to make a comment, actually to thank you for all your good works. I'm a social studies teacher, and I've been a social studies teacher since 1986. And when I first came across the Armenian Genocide as a social studies teacher, it was through the Teaching History in Ourselves program, which was extraordinary. And I think it's through the efforts of the Armenian community, the continuing efforts for year after year of saying this is important. Our children need to be aware of this. Our teachers need to be aware of this, and giving us tools so that we can then teach our youth and look at problems that seem to always keep occurring. I just wanted to thank you and your community and encourage you to just keep pressing on. So thank you.
Excellent.
And I'd just like to add, first of all, thank you all for being here today. to join us in the passing of this resolution. But I would also like to encourage anybody who hasn't seen that documentary to see it. I mean, it was fascinating. So if we can somehow make that available to our
We
board
have
members.
copies at each of our high schools, but we can certainly get copies for all of the board members as well.
That would be great.
It's a video called America, We Thank You, and it's a story of the relief effort of the Near East Fund.
Excellent.
And one quick question. What's your Twitter handle, the ANCA?
It's at ANCA_WR.
Thank you.
Please tag us.
I will.
Instagram too.
Okay. I'm not on that yet.
Thank you so much, and do come back next year. We will
Thank you.
talk again next year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.